7 side hustle students can start in 2026. Being a student in 2026 is a completely different game than it was even 2 years ago. Rent is skyrocketing. Tuition feels like a mortgage you haven't signed for yet. And every time you scroll through your feed, there's another headline about how AI is going to eat all the entry-level jobs before you even get your degree. It's overwhelming. And honestly, the old advice isn't working anymore. If one more person tells you to just go deliver food or work at the campus library for $10 an hour, you're probably going to lose it. Those jobs pay for a sandwich, but they don't pay for your life. And they certainly don't prepare you for the world you're graduating into. The reality is that while the traditional path is getting shakier, the digital window has never been wider. We are living through a massive shift where the old side hustles are being replaced by high-leverage, high-margin opportunities that didn't even exist a few years ago. If you aren't leveraging the new tools at your fingertips, you're leaving money on the table. Today, I'm not giving you a list of boring chores. I've identified 7 Side Hustles 2.0 that you can start from a dorm room with $0. These are real, scalable businesses. By the end of this, you're going to have a roadmap to go from a broke student to someone who is financially dangerous. The first big opportunity is becoming an AI implementation agent. Right now, every local business owner, your neighborhood dry cleaner, the local gym, the florist down the street, is terrified of AI. They know they're supposed to be using it, but they have no idea how. They don't have the time to sit through hours of tutorials. That's where you come in. You aren't coding, you're a connector. You use no-code tools to build simple AI agents that handle their FAQs, or set up automated systems that follow up with customers who leave reviews. The math here is incredible. You charge a $500 setup fee and a $100 monthly maintenance fee. Get just 10 local businesses on a retainer, and you've got $1,000 a month in passive income while you're sitting in your morning lectures. But maybe you're thinking, I don't want to talk to local businesses. I'd rather stay behind the scenes. Good, because the next opportunity doesn't require selling to dry cleaners. It requires understanding something far more valuable in 2026: attention. And if you can control attention, you control income. Let's talk about becoming a retention editor. The creator economy is exploding, but most creators are drowning in their own footage. They don't need a traditional video editor who just pieces clips together. They need someone who understands the science of attention. If you can take a long, rambling podcast and cut it into 5 viral TikToks or Reels with fast transitions, color-changing captions, and visual hooks every 3 seconds, you are worth your weight in gold. In 2026, attention is the most valuable currency on Earth. You don't need a $3,000 PC for this anymore. Mobile editing apps are so advanced now that you can do most of this work on a tablet during your commute. Now, here's the interesting part. Retention editing is about mastering chaos, turning messy footage into structured gold. But what if your superpower isn't creative chaos? What if you're the type of person who color codes your notes, alphabetizes your files, and secretly enjoys fixing broken systems? Then this next opportunity is going to feel illegal, because founders will literally pay you to organize their digital mess. Let's talk about niche tool consulting. Every startup today is built on a stack of tools like Notion, Airtable, or Zapier. The problem is that founders are often brilliant at their product, but terrible at organizing their digital office. They are happy to pay someone to come in and fix their messy workspaces. This is micro-consulting. You spend an hour on a Zoom call setting up if this then that automations that save a founder 5 hours of manual work a week. Professional consultants in this space are charging upwards of $75 to $200 an hour. 2 calls a week, and your entire weekend is paid for. Here's what's fascinating. Once you start organizing founders' systems, you realize something. They're brilliant at building products, terrible at building presence. And in 2026, if you don't have a presence, you don't exist. That's where the next opportunity comes in, and it might be the highest leverage one on this list. Digital ghostwriting. In this economy, everyone wants to be a thought leader on LinkedIn or X, but nobody has the time to write. CEOs and founders know they need a personal brand to attract investors and talent, but they can't find the words. If you can write a punchy 100-word post that gets people talking, you can be their voice. You interview them for 20 minutes once a week and turn that conversation into a week's worth of high-impact content. This is the ultimate student hustle because it forces you to network with high-level people while you're getting paid to learn their industry. It's essentially a masterclass that pays you. Then we have the community facilitator. The internet has moved away from massive, noisy social media platforms toward private, curated communities on places like School, Discord, or Circle. Thousands of creators are launching paid groups, but they are struggling to keep the conversation going and the members engaged. A community facilitator is basically a digital party host. You welcome new members, organize weekly town halls, and make sure the vibe stays positive. It's a low-stress, high-connection job that you can do entirely from your phone between classes. Now we shift gears. Everything we've talked about so far is client-facing. But what if you're more analytical, more behind the scenes? More, I want to work with AI, not just around it. Then this next one puts you directly inside the machine, and most students don't even know it exists. The sixth opportunity is a bit more specialized: data curation for local LMs. As companies build their own local AI models to keep their data private, they need high-quality, clean data to train them. This is the modern version of data entry, but it requires a human touch. Companies are hiring students to tag and curate data to ensure the AI isn't learning from garbage. You can find these gigs on specialized platforms that have replaced the old-school survey sites. It pays significantly better because it's a critical step in the AI development pipeline, and it gives you a front-row seat to how the tech is actually built. And here's the irony. While companies are building smarter AI models, regular people are struggling to connect their smart fridge to their Wi-Fi. There's a massive tech confidence gap happening right now, and if you're the person your family calls when the TV won't work, you're already qualified for this next hustle. Specialized remote tech support. The smart home boom of 2026 has left a lot of people very confused. When an AI fridge won't talk to a smart lock or a VR headset won't sync with a computer, people get frustrated. If you are already the tech support for your family, you can turn that into a remote business. You offer tech setup sessions over Zoom to help people configure their devices or debug their AI tools. It's a high-value service because it solves a high-frustration problem for a generation that has the disposable income to pay for convenience. Now, before you run off to try all 7, you need to understand the strategy. You are a student first. If a side hustle kills your GPA, it wasn't a hustle, it was a mistake. You need to follow what I call the 3-hour rule. Pick just one of these and commit to 3 hours a week. Spend 1 hour learning the specific skill, 1 hour on outreach, sending DMs or emails to potential clients, and 1 hour actually doing the work. In 2026, consistency is more important than intensity. The person who sends 5 cold emails every single week will always beat the person who sends 50 once and then quits because they got overwhelmed. Being a student in 2026 isn't just about the exams anymore. It's about that quiet, nagging fear that the world you're studying for won't even exist by the time you graduate. But I want to give you one piece of advice that they won't tell you in a lecture hall. The world doesn't care about your degree nearly as much as it cares about your ability to solve a problem today. You don't need to wait for permission to be successful. These side hustles we talked about aren't just ways to pay for lunch. They are the training ground for something much bigger. If you found this list helpful, let me know in the comments which one sparked that aha moment for you. I'll be hanging out there all day to help you troubleshoot your first move. And remember to subscribe. Next step, click right here to watch the next masterclass, How to Build a One-Person AI Agency in 2026. I'm going to show you how to take these exact skills and package them into a high-ticket business that generates $7,500 a month on autopilot. Your future isn't something that happens to you, it's something you build. I'll see you over there.